Hi there, welcome to this week midweek market analysis. So as usual, we're going to start off with looking at the dollar index over here first. Now yesterday the dollar index came back up and we are currently looking at price retesting that 618 Fibonacci retracement. Now overall we're still expecting a little bit more downside over here to complete the bigger 1, 2, 3 structure. But of course, if let's say, in the next 1 or 2 days, by the end of this week, if we don't see a continuation to the downside, we definitely need to be a little bit more careful. Where what can happen over here is perhaps this can be still wave 3, this is perhaps wave 4, and then we can still see one more pushback breaking the top to complete the bigger wave 5. Before then, we expect a big, kind of deeper retracement, right? So things to note over here is in the next 1 or 2 days, we want to definitely pay very close attention as to how price is going to develop. If this just continue to come down very slow, we'll probably need to shift our bias a little bit where we can expect this to retest the top. All right, so there's something to note. And of course, if you take a look at the euro dollar, it's kind of inverse to that, which then suggests again, kind of similar view. If we don't see a pushback up to complete this bigger 3-wave move in the next 1 or 2 days, and we just simply see this maybe coming down, going up very correctively, then we can expect this to come down a little bit more. Okay, and same thing over here. This would then be wave 3, this is wave 4, and then wave 5 will be at the bottom. Okay, so definitely we need to pay a little bit more attention as to how price is going to develop from today onwards. Now if you look at pound dollar, I think pound dollar would give us some decent opportunity. Okay, very simple structure over here. Kind of have a leading diagonal, a first push up. So we have an impulse move down. So any kind of a correction here, okay, potentially maybe coming back to it at 618 will give us a sell opportunity to complete a bigger 1, 2, 3, right? So the downside here can be quite interesting. We're looking at areas around 1.2475 to be executing any sell opportunities, with an invalidation level around 1.2545 and then a target here at 1.2170. Okay, so the risk reward you can see is pretty significant, something that you want to pay closer attention to. Then we have the Aussie. Aussie dollar over here right now on a bigger time frame perspective, we are neutral. This is basically quite an impulsive move. Again, every time an impulse move happens, we can expect some kind of a pullback. But of course, whether this is going to be the end of it or we're going to see more, we won't know for sure right now. So that's why we are neutral, we're patient. However, having said that, if you go down to a lower time frame on the H1, if you're a little bit more of a counter trend, aggressive style of trader, we do definitely have a double top structure with a divergence for sure. Okay, you can see that, a divergence for sure. So what you can do is you can consider start looking early sign of an entry, maybe to the downside, maybe breaking this will be very aggressive. You can consider breaking this low, and you can expect maybe a 3-wave move to take some profits off that trade around that bottom. So this is definitely a little bit more aggressive because you're looking at the lower time frame and you're looking to trade the kind of inner move of a pullback, right? So that's on the Aussie side of things. Now on dollar CAD here, we're expecting a deeper pullback. Okay, potentially we may have completed a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 3 and 5 here looks a little bit close, which again suggests maybe this may still turn into a bigger move that looks something like that. I think visually 3 is here, 5 is here. That looks a little bit more balanced. But anyway, I don't think you want to be selling it. Even if this continue to drop like this, you don't want to be in this environment selling it. Okay, so overall we're bearish, but the idea here is you may want to be patient and wait for a decent pullback, maybe in clear 3 waves before taking another sell trade, right? So the question is just, are we gonna get this here, okay, or is this gonna keep falling and then we're just gonna get that 3 move maybe later on? Do take note that we also have Bank of Canada coming in today. Okay, and if let's say we can kind of get a surprise element where BOC actually hike rate, this may actually drop as well, and that can still be the entire piece of wave 4, and therefore this is wave 3, and then wave 5 is at the bottom, right? Possible as well. So overall we're bearish. Is just I would personally suggest wait for your clear setups to get involved in it, right? This to me is definitely not the sell setup. Right, so that's on dollar Canadian. Dollar yen here is starting to come down quite neatly after it reacted off the 618. We're expecting more downside, but I think one area to note is around 138. Okay, because if this comes down and we can't see a reaction around this, this may turn into just a simple three-wave move and then another bounce back up. Okay, so if this can go through that 138 level quite impulsively, then of course we can continue to expect more downside. But just to note, if you have any sell, consider taking some partial profits around 138. Okay, and then manage your positions along the way. Gold, okay, XAU here we're expecting a three-wave development. Okay, so if you are doing swing trade, just be patient, maybe wait for price to come back around that area. If you're more of a shorter term, you can consider on H1, any kind of maybe corrective pullback can be seen as a short-term buy. So you kind of get an impulse correction upside, right? So gold structure is quite clear and quite clean at this moment, right? We're kind of expecting a three-wave move. If you're short-term, trade the internals up. If you're more of a swing trade, wait for this to complete first, okay? Then we have crude oil. Crude oil is also a quite clean structure. Over here, we kind of had a nice little push up after a three-wave correction. So right now, we're expecting a simple development like this. If we have it, okay, and we can see price retesting that 69.8 area, then we can consider buy back towards $77, right? So pretty clean structure over here, right? Nothing complex. Just look out for a setup and then you can get involved in it. S&P, okay, so S&P made a very nice little move to our target, right? We kind of call out around 43 hundreds, right? 4300, so we kind of enter this zone. We kind of have that level tag as well. Right now we're neutral because we're expecting a deeper pullback. Okay, and of course the market seems to stall around there as well. We have internal of trees. We have a bigger move of a tree. So overall, it's just not a good idea to be buying here anymore. Okay, if you want to buy, wait for a pullback before you get involved in another buy trade. Okay, so S&P here neutral. If you have any buys, suggest take some partial profits off. If you're longer term, you can obviously still hold on to the position, just take some profits and maybe manage your position accordingly. Okay. Last one here is BTC. So Bitcoin over here, kind of respecting this channel. We are still neutral on this right now. The thing here is, with this V shape, okay, are we gonna get a breakout of the channel, or is this just gonna come back down and complete this move before the bigger move up? We'll need a little bit more time to determine on what's next, okay? So that's the reason why, every time we see a V or we just see an impulse, we don't move, because there's just so many possibilities of how the price can develop from here, which may have changed the direction that we're going to focus, right? So right now we're neutral. The thing is, if we get a correction here, we may possibly see a breakout, and basically we'll just relabel it a little bit. But long term, we are definitely upside, right? It's just a matter of, do we get a correction and we break out here, or do we get a move down and then we buy it from the bottom? Okay. This structure is definitely bullish. Again, it's just a matter of timing, right? The overall long-term direction is quite clear. So I think crypto space may be quite interesting to keep watch this month going into next month as well, because I think some opportunities are definitely building up in terms of BTC and even Ethereum. Good. So that's all from me for today. All the best to trading for the week, and we'll see you guys in the next one.